do you want to start running alongside your strength training? Listen up, 2 points. Firstly, forget your previous achievements and abilities. Secondly, take it slow. So when I say forget your previous achievements and past abilities, it's because having this in the forefront of your mind means you're going to be disappointed with how you're currently doing. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you once was, it's where you're currently at. Now, one of my clients messaged me and said how he wanted to reintroduce running back into his training. And during lockdown, he was running up to about like 10 miles. He'd done a half marathon relatively easy, and he wants to kind of get back to that fitness. Now, what I messaged him back was, great, we now know what you was capable of, but now what we need to do is currently see where you're at and see how the current life stresses are going to be affecting your body. Now, the reason I say this is because I've personally fallen victim to this style of mindset over the years. And what it's done, it's made me push too hard too soon, which has then meant I'm at a higher risk of injuries, which then is then going to impact my training, my strength training, which is the priority. And not only that, the comparison itself is such a negative feeling because I'm thinking, oh, I'm not as good as I once was, or oh, why am I not there yet? And it's not appreciating the wins for where I currently am. It's always in comparison to where I was. And at the end of the day, if I just start steady and take it slow, I can build up to that and then surpass that level of fitness and strength together. So I then gave my client the plan essentially of how we're going to reintroduce running and how we're going to get him back and to surpass his fitness also. Now, the second point is take it slow. How would you rate your current preparedness? Have you blended strength training with endurance training before? How did that experience go last time? Or are you completely new? Now, how I would approach take it slow to someone who's new to this compared to someone whose experience is slightly differently. If you're new to this, what I would say is give yourself a specific day where you're going to go for a 5 to 10 minute walk/run. You're going to find yourself ideally somewhere relatively flat and take it easy. When you feel your heart rate's creeping up a bit too high, bring it down to a walk. And then when you feel ready, kind of go again and give yourself about 5 to 10 minutes. And then with this 5 to 10 minutes, you can assess afterwards, how does my body feel? How has the recovery been? Am I ready to do more? And then give it a couple of days before you give it another go. Now, if you are new to this, I would definitely give your body 2 to 3 days as a minimum in between runs so you can see how your body's adjusting to essentially this high impact trauma. Now, if you've been experienced in blending these two forms of fitness together before, how I would approach it, I would have 2 different options. Option 1 would be add 5 to 10 minutes of a light, easy jog after a lifting session because your body will be nice and warm, you'll be a bit more primed to go out for a run. And then by adding it in after your training, you're not then taking up a day of potential recovery to start running. And then once you've grooved that and you feel pretty good, you can then give yourself a specific day with some specific times or distances to start your running. And option number 2 for the experienced athlete that's blended this strength and endurance work before, maybe just add a specific day and do that potentially twice a week and give yourself at least 2 to 3 days rest in between sessions and go for a 10 to 20 minute easy jog, focusing on keeping your heart rate low and in that aerobic zone. And then by giving yourself enough time in between sessions, you can see how the trauma has affected your body and if you're ready to increase intensity. Because if you add in high intensity running for early doors because it's what you're used to doing, that's going to be such a trauma to the body that your strength training is a trauma, sprints is a trauma, and you're not giving your body any type of opportunity to really recover. So by then taking it easy for the first couple of weeks, building up your aerobic base, and then start adding in some more tempo based running or some more threshold based running, and then look to add in that sprint based running down the line. So I hope this gives you a good insight into how to add running into your training, especially if you're coming from a strength training background, or if you're looking to reintroduce running, how you can get the most out of it. The big takeaway from both of these points is take it easier than you think, because you can always add more. That's where I've kind of fallen victim in the past. I've gone too much too soon and been basically fucked up, and I've had to deal with the consequences from that. So start easy and then add on.